I'm here to talk to you about raising $1 billion for anti-poverty efforts. I'm going to teach you in the next 5 minutes exactly how we can do this together. Now, 1 year ago I started a company called Soap Hope. Soap Hope is an online retailer. It's an online retailer of all natural body care products. And what we do is, at the end of every year, we invest 100% of our profits into anti-poverty efforts. We give this model a name. It's called Good Returns. And Good Returns just simply means that every dollar of profit that the company earns has to spend 1 year doing service for good before it's returned to owners or investors. Now, Soap Hope does this in a unique way because it invests into microloans for women in poverty. This gives women a chance to have an economic opportunity for themselves. It's an interesting model because not only will it help a woman, but it will help her entire family, and it will lift the entire community as she creates jobs for other people around her. Now, if we're going to raise $1 billion to do this, we're going to need a new kind of model, different from any kind of philanthropy that's been seen before. So in a typical philanthropic model, you have donors that are giving money to a nonprofit organization, and that nonprofit does good, but the donor doesn't really receive anything back except for a good feeling. And raising $1 billion this way is going to be a real challenge. So if we look at a typical business model, we've got investors that put money into companies, and then they receive dividends, but the company typically doesn't do a special social good. So trying to pry $1 billion from the hands of investors, I think that's a challenge that's too big for us. So we need a different model. Good Returns kind of brings the best of both worlds together because it allows for investment into businesses, creating profits through the traditional model, spending 1 year doing good, and then the dollars can go back to the founders or the investors. And that's critical because think of all the different kinds of businesses that could participate in a model like that. It could be a bakery, it could be a small soap company in Deep Ellum. And in fact, our goal is to have companies that have average profits of just $100,000 a year. The rest of it is all just math. All we have to do is convince 50 businesses in each of 20 cities to generate $100,000 worth of profits for good, and that's $100 million every year that can be applied towards anti-poverty efforts. All we have to do is scale it out over 10 years, and the vision is achieved, $1 billion towards ending global poverty. Now, why would a company do this? I'm not suggesting that businesses should do this out of the goodness of their heart. It's actually great business for businesses, especially small companies, because all of the constituents to the business get a tremendous benefit. You think about customers that love doing business with companies that do good, telling other customers, telling family members, and telling friends. They send customers your way. Employees love to go to work and not have to decide between doing good or doing their job. Vendors will cut you special deals, and investors will provide special investment terms. Now, this only works if we have nonprofits that are sustainable. That means they have to take the capital in, use it for a social good, and then return it to the investor. And there are lots and lots of examples of sustainable nonprofits today. I happen to like microfinance, but there are all other kinds of models. You can have low-cost student loans, low-cost housing projects, low-cost medical services. All of these are sustainable nonprofits that can work with this model. Now you can see why it's called Good Returns. The company does good, the profits spend some time doing good, the profits come back to investors who get a great financial return out of the model. Now we've got a vision for the future. Bringing 1,000 companies on board is going to require some work, but we're going to have best practices and lessons learned from the conglomeration of these companies, learning how to move capital back and forth and build the model out. Now, this is a model, and models are important because they teach us how to do something, but they don't actually create change or action. That can only be done by people. So I think what I'd like you to come away with tonight, if anything, is if you've got a model for changing the world, Don't wait. Go and take an action on it. Make it real. At Soap Hope, we're making it real through selling soap. If you like that model, if you like the good returns model, I encourage you to visit us at soaphope.com. Visit me on Twitter at soaphope. My name is Salah Bukadu. I thank you very much.